Good afternoon and welcome to my presentation on your organization, Gilchrist County 4-H. My name is Jess Carlton Cooper, and today I will be unveiling an organizational case study that examines implementing a mandatory monthly volunteer meeting in your program. For the purposes of this project, I will serve as the organization's consultant for organizational leadership. And a little on my background, I am a UF56 extension agent who works within the extension system, specifically in 4-H. First, I'd like to give you a little background on the organization. Gilchrist County 4-H is a positive youth development organization that serves local youth ages 5 to 18. This program is an agent-led and volunteer-delivered youth program located in Gilchrist County, about 40 minutes west of Gainesville, Florida. The main focus of the organization is organizational strategies, volunteer systems to support positive youth development, and youth life skill development. The main delivery modes for this program are community clubs, school enrichment, special interest groups, and camping. So let's review the current organizational framework, and we will discuss each frame starting with the human resources frame. This is the social portion of the organization, and in this frame we recognize that 4-H brings people together because of their experience within the organization or their belief in the vision and opportunity to build relationships with people who share their skills, interests, and passions. It is here that we identify a need for belonging within the organization and a concern for the importance of the people. The key idea in this frame is to make volunteers feel as if they fit well into the role where they're working within the organization, and for the agent to coach these volunteers to improve upon their skills and build a team of active participants who empower one another and support as well as engage in active communication. Currently, this is an area for the organization to improve upon because a new agent has begun leadership and is working to establish new relationships, create trust, and tailor the system to volunteers' needs as best as possible. Next, we will look at the structural frame. It is here where we review the rules, policies, volunteer roles, and the 4-H environment as a whole. Our key goal currently is dividing up volunteer opportunities and coordinating 4-H activities. It is clear that a transparent, well-developed management system here requires improvement. In order to improve this frame, new structure within the organization must be created and 4-H bylaws must be enforced or revised. Additionally, we review the political frame where we notice an uneven balance of power amongst the volunteers and a collection of scarce resources that need revisiting and expansion. With a rebalance of power to a more even playing field, we can reduce conflicts and empower positive politics by negotiating and building an association of volunteers who can better work together. Our main task here is to unite forces and advocate for an improved pot of resources for all of the volunteers to share by building outside partnerships and relying on a powerful base to support the organization. Finally, we visit the symbolic frame. In 4-H, within Gilchrist County, the shared inspiration is the youth within the community. Each volunteer is committed to the mission of improving the lives of young people and creating opportunities for them. Here, we can bring each volunteer's personal experience to revamp our current programs, ceremonies, and rituals in a new way to progress the program further. Our current challenge is communicating change and being proactive when adjusting to the changes statewide, district-wide, and county-wide within the 4-H program. So you may wonder, how did we get here? Well, within this county, We have arrived at this challenge because the program was actively working without the presence of a 4-H agent for many months after having the same agent for 12 years. The program then hired a new agent who is currently undergoing major changes and challenges because of personality differences, shift of power, release of new statewide policies, and the program ebb and flow of volunteer population. A major challenge here is the resistance to change. Because we have consistently had changes within the organization, volunteers are feeling resistant to the changes and frustrated with the system as a whole. And we need to find out the best way to disseminate information to the volunteer population so that way all volunteers feel as if they are part of these changes and like they have a voice in order to make positive change. So, the proposed solution is to implement monthly volunteer meetings for volunteers who serve the organization year-round. And during these meetings, we can release a meaningful training session that will meet their volunteer needs within their clubs or within their role that they serve in annually. Some of the steps to implementing the solution proposed are releasing needs assessment data to the volunteers that indicates that volunteers are interested in understanding the new policies, having a better system for reporting their efforts, developing a better relationship with the new 4-H agent, and working on the teamwork between volunteers. Then we will need to find a preferred and consistent schedule so that way the majority of volunteers are able to attend these scheduled meetings. And we need to be intentional in the planning to make this meeting beneficial for all volunteers. If these trainings are not structured properly, the volunteers may lose interest and may feel as if these meetings are not worth the amount of time that they're spending in the organization. The revised organizational framework is an important piece of this project. Here, we need to look at relationship building elements such as personality assessments, where the group will be able to dive into how personality types and preferences can impact the relationships and how to better understand one another for the human resources frame. We can then also build an improved sense of belonging by increasing the depth of these relationships where volunteers are spending more time together at these monthly gatherings. For a revised structural frame, policies, bylaws, and rules will be revised for potential changes and revisited for anything that we may need to explore. We will also look at further expansion and understanding by all parties for these rules and policies, and the scheduled monthly meetings with minutes will create more organization and a more effective way to communicate, as well as a better long-range plan and goals to work towards. For the revised political frame, I suggest revisiting the way resources are allocated and creating a system for dispersal of these resources, encouraging proper debate and redivision of power to even the volunteer committee structure more appropriately will very much help the organization to run volunteer systems more smoothly. And as for the symbolic frame revision, I recommend doing a better job sharing the vision, mission, and shared goals, improving ceremonies and events by reviewing the ways to embrace both tradition and progressive movement. The planned outcomes for this project are open communication, idea sharing, and shared stake in the decision making, more transparency when releasing new rules and policies and updating the focus, creation and implementation of volunteer training series, and reduced anxiety and confusion. All of these planned outcomes will help us to improve volunteer systems to support positive youth development within Gilchrist County. The evaluation and monitoring plan will consist of monthly check-ins with volunteers where feedback is encouraged. Volunteers will complete a 1 to 3 question evaluation at the completion of each monthly meeting to reflect on the training that we have that month. Conversations and program improvement are a very important piece of this evaluation where we have an open, effective communication alley, and from there we will be able to compile all of the data and shift volunteer systems as needed during year 2 of this program and beyond for continuous improvement of both the program and the volunteer system. The ideal impacts for this volunteer system are the system built on trust, acceptance, and understanding, the effective communication throughout the Gilchrist County 4-H program, and an improved 4-H program that retains talented, dedicated volunteers who contribute to the overall success of the 4-H program. Not only does the 4-H program grow here, but I would love to see the 4-H volunteer population grow and thrive here. In close, I encourage you to contact me for further questions or comments regarding this proposal. It has been a pleasure working with Gilchrist County 4-H and developing this program plan based on the case study results from this organizational leadership project. Thank you.